Aliens are not on the way, they are already here.
Anything having to do with UFO or related material, and we're going to be releasing a lot of things from that we have, and I think some of it's going to be very interesting to people.
17 earthquakes rattled Area 51.
A few minutes ago, the United States government has released what's known as the UFO and alien files. They even made an official government website where they posted all the images, videos, documentaries, all the things proving that aliens are indeed real. And apparently the files actually claims that these aliens are the so-called fallen angels. You can go down here and you'll actually see that there are a couple of images here, which apparently the government claims that these are some of the clips that they have captured while these things were flying in the sky. They even have so many different videos, and one of the video was literally looking like some sort of an angel being that is flying about in the sky, and apparently they zoom in and they get to see the full humanoid structure, which we will get to in just a second. But before that, take a look at this. They claim that this is an image which is taken from the moon during the Apollo 17 in 1972. And so they claim that there have been 3 different crafts which is flying along with the astronauts, and they had no idea what this was. And this one right here is one of the craziest ones where we actually get to see the angel that's flying about in the sky. Take a look at it. So they start zooming all the way in, and you can actually see some sort of a
no, it's not a cross.
figure.
What is that?
And get
Like
zoomed in
Whoa.
even further.
Let me see it.
Look at that. Take a look at that. Doesn't that look like a human being that's flying on using some sort of a suit or something?
Dude, it looks like a dude in a suit.
Exactly.
It looks like Iron Man.
Mm-hmm. And apparently this was caught.
What the heck? Jonathan, what in the world?
What is that?
And now it's no longer suspicious UAPs or whatever. The government themselves have now officially come out, and they've very clearly
I don't know nothing
claimed,
about no Maldakians.
they put this out there claiming that these are the fallen angels, which the Bible already speaks about. And it's just crazy, man. It's scary because it seems like these beings have been living among us, and they've been watching us, and they have a lot more information about us humans in this universe. And the way they look is just so bizarre. I don't know. I don't really know what to make out of this video right here. It's super weird. Definitely looks like a human being. But again,
It almost looks like a person, right?
mm-hmm. So it seems like Fox News has been covering this stuff as well.
Related to UFOs and alien life.
So is the truth really out there?
Senior White House correspondent Peter Ducey joins us live with the details. What have you learned, Peter?
Good morning. So a White House official left this hard drive on my desk overnight. You can see on it, it says AARO Files Copy 2 of 3. That is the all-domain Resolution Office, copy 2 of 3.
So you can actually get those files if you go to the government website, which I just showed. All you need to do is go to this government website. As you can see, it says U.S. Department of War. So the website link is war.gov/UFOs. And you'll actually land in this website, which is a government website. And here, if you go to the UFO file right here, if you scroll all the way down, you'll actually see there are so many different files. And if you click on one of these ones, you see there is like an entire file. You can just download it. There's like a download button here. You can just download it and you'll get all the information, videos, footage from photos, and every single thing that they have related to these beings or whatsoever. So all of these things have just been disclosed to a massive scale. And now heading back to the news.
This is the first big batch of UFO disclosure ordered by President Trump. Some of the clips and videos on there have popped up different places before. Some of them have not. And we have been going through this all morning and overnight to try to put together some of the best videos so we can all look at this together. This is a world Arab.
So this clip right here, as you can see, this is the same clip that we saw, which kind of just looked like a very different person from a different perspective.
Emirates. In June
wearing a
2024,
jumpsuit.
An
Look at
inverted
that.
teardrop with a vertically linear trailing mass, as described by the War Department, suspended below. The War Department cannot say for sure what this is. It is officially listed as an unresolved UAP report. The next video, over the skies of Iraq, December 2022.
Look at that stuff. It definitely looks like the Booga spear that we've been talking about.
Moving bottom
many
left
of
to
my
top
videos.
right of the field of view. All CENTCOM gets from this is an area of contrast. That's what they describe it as. It is officially still listed as an unresolved UAP report.
And a couple of days ago, the Department of War actually invited pastors and leaders of the Christian community. They've all been invited to the secret meeting, apparently, where the government, the Congress themselves, sat with them in this meeting, and he basically showed real images, footage of these so-called creatures, the alien creatures, which even the government themselves describe as the demons from the Bible. I think you guys should take a look at this video.
Pastors are invited to come to a private meeting with a group of men who are connected with the intelligence world, that are believers, but are still have very high security clearance. These are legit, true men of God that are still connected to Washington and even this current administration and all branches of military. And they literally told us, we had a sitting congressman, a very well-known congressman from Missouri. He called into that meeting as well. That was just for pastors. And this is what he said. On speakerphone, this sitting powerful member of Congress said, "Are the pastors listening to me?" I'm getting chills right now because this happened to me. He said, "Are the pastors in the room listening to me?" And I said, "Yes, sir, we are here." And he said, "Listen to me. Go and tell the church they are not ready for what is coming. The narrative that is coming, what they are going to say is going to be like nothing you can even imagine. They are preparing to tell us that they are from another dimension, that they are our creator, and that these beings, these aliens, or whatever you want to call them, they were the ones that seeded us here. There is no such thing as God. Jesus was invented by them. The Bible was invented by them." And begin to just say, listen, prepare the people for what is coming because they're not ready. But he loved us so much. He made sure that he told us exactly the blueprint to study. He said, study the days of Noah. And if you can understand how Noah responded, that's how you're going to have to respond. And I believe what God is doing.
So this pastor who actually got invited, and apparently he claims that congressmen, the government themselves sat right there, and they started saying that one of the greatest deception is coming up. And the government has been in contact with these creatures for many hundreds of years. And they've also been the ones that have been sharing technologies or whatnot. They've been trying to reverse engineer some of the technologies. And that's basically how we found technology as humans as well. So all of these things belong to these creatures. And now from the disclosure program, it seems like the government is now warning the church and the pastors and the big leaders to go ahead and let people know that these creatures are coming back. They want to claim their throne, and these creatures claim that they are the ones that have created us humans, and they are basically our parents. And these things are going to start claiming that they are the ones that created Jesus and the entire biblical story, so that they can basically keep us in check for all these years. So that's the whole story arc that these creatures are going to be coming up with. Before that happens, they want to warn all of the church and the pastors to go ahead and let their people know, so that they can start reading the Bible and they can start getting to know about the story of Noah, and also start reading the book of Enoch, so that we exactly know what these things are, so that we don't fall for the deception that they're going to be causing in the coming days. We also have some more update coming from a few other pastors. One of the ones right here. Look at this
there are many
video.
in the government. There are different pockets and segments. This is one of the things that was confirmed to us in this meeting, that there are different pockets and segments within the government who all have a different opinion about this and all think they're right and are all operating independently. And there are people who think that these are benevolent beings that we need to cooperate with and that we need to learn more about. There's another organization that is more Luciferian, and they understand that these things are demonic entities, and they're willing to trade anything to partner with them in exchange for power, for influence, and for information and technology. So more on that to come as we discuss this, because it's vitally important that we understand this. But if pastors don't begin to talk about this, many will fall away, because they're already looking for an excuse to fall away. And if you don't buttress what you believe with Scripture concerning the subject matter, then people will use it as an excuse. Now, I think, depending on how it is disclosed, I think that this may be a ripple more than a wave. The reason I say that is because on the outside, it may look like a wave, but really on the inside, many who are influenced by it are people who are never really with us anyway. People who are, and there are many antagonistic. That's exactly right. The church is going to be viewed as a hindrance. And one of the things that was shared with us is that there are many supposed allies in the body of Christ or in this space who talk about UFOs, UAPs, who claim to be Christian, who are going to start to view or at least present the view that traditional Christianity has of these things as being too simplistic and that we need a more nuanced understanding of this. That it's not, people who say it's just demons, which I would agree that there is a complexity to the rank and file of fallen angels and their operation in the earth. But that's not simply what they're saying. They're saying anyone who says that these are purely evil, purely demonic, that's just too simplistic and they're really holding us back from real antagonism.
So apparently the government wants all the church to get aware of what's coming. It seems like a great deception is coming up. And we've already been warned in the Bible, man. All the prophecies that came true, and now we have like the greatest deception time that's now going to take place in any moment. Now the disclosure has just happened. They have given us the full footage, images, videos, everything. And now the government themselves are claiming that UFOs and aliens are real. So for all these years, we just believed that aliens and all that stories were all just, childish bullcrap. But now, looking at the things that's going on, it definitely seems like we are heading straight into the end times.
What we were told in that meeting was to watch out for supposed allies.
Okay.
People who appear to be on our side, they appear to be Christian, and they've been a part of the Christian community and the Christian conversation in this space. And these people will come out and say, well, some Christians say it's demons, but it's far more complicated than that. And I'm a Christian and I believe the Bible, but I can tell you that it's far more that's what we have to watch out for there. That's what we have to watch out for. People who are being so nuanced about this, they're missing the forest for the trees. And we need to make sure we just stick to the Bible. I know what's been my goal. I know that's yours, Brother Joseph, and yours, Tony. Let's just make sure we tell the world what's going on. We're the first to tell the church what's going on and what the Bible has to say about it.
All right, that's a fair take. The pastors are now starting to warn people that we need to stick to the story of the Bible. No matter how, different people are going to start portraying stuff, many Christians themselves are going to start portraying this stuff as, well, it might be aliens, it might be demons, but we need to be very, very confident in what we think and what we believe, because the aliens are nothing but the fallen angels, demons. These things are nothing but demons that the Bible talks about. So we need to get that stuff cleared out. And that's exactly what these guys are here to do.
I want to address this video that's going around of me in regards to the meeting of pastors that gathered to discuss the upcoming so-called UFO disclosure. In this video, I stated that a congressman from Missouri had called in to speak to the pastors. And of course, it's being revealed now that that is Congressman Eric Burleson. And he did call in, but he called in to encourage us and to thank us pastors for the work that we're doing, and that we are, speaking the truth to our people and pointing them to Jesus to not get distracted of things in the world. In that moment, I began to state things that I have always said. That is my opinion, and my opinion is, and that's exactly all it is my opinion, that when this disclosure comes out, that it will be spun, that it is that the aliens have always been here, that they seeded us, that they created the first religion, and all of that. I should have stopped and paused and said, and this part is my opinion. In the heat of that, I didn't. I led with saying that they had called the pastors, and I went straight into my opinion. So I want to make it very clear that Eric Burleson did not say those words. Those were my words. And I want to own it, and I want to apologize directly to Congressman Eric Burleson for any problems that this has caused you, any confusion, and to any of the viewers that have seen this video clip. So I wanted to state the facts and make it very, very clear what actually happened. That was my opinion and not the congressman. So thank you so much. And the bottom line is this: I just want you to focus on the Lord, and that was the purpose of that meeting, is to just focus on Jesus. And as Jesus said, be not deceived. So thank you for your time, and God.
Fair enough. So it apparently seems like the government is wanting us to start believing in Jesus. At least some of them. Not everybody in the government wants us to do that, because they don't want us to know about what's actually going on. Because the truth is that these things are demonic entities. These things are what the Bible already talks about. And particularly the book of Enoch is something that we can relate to a lot about the things that's happening right now with giants and fallen angels, the spirit of the fallen giants, after the flood. What happened to the spirit of these giants? They basically turn into demons. Those are the demonic creatures. So I think the book of Enoch teaches us a lot. And I mean, a lot about these things. And we need to pay close attention to this stuff, man. We also have some more information coming up from Pastor Joseph Z, where he says that we were in the private UFO meeting for pastors. No cell phones were allowed. Just 2 days after a private pastor's disclosure meeting on UFO and non-human intelligence, we were flying from Tennessee to Colorado Springs when 6 unidentified objects started following them and basically appeared directly in front of their plane. Wow. They kept facing us in the sky unexplained, and this happened on February 20th, 2026. That's not very long ago. This was recently done, apparently. So the same week, the president ordered agencies to reveal the truth about the aliens and UFOs. What he basically saw, and the church cannot be caught off guard about the situation. Wow.
And we had
that's an interesting story
that we've never experienced before. And now when I talked about this just recently, many people in our comments feed and through our live broadcast began to ask us to bring it out and show you what we encountered. Now, what we encountered was 6 objects in the sky out in front of the aircraft. We were flying from Tennessee to Colorado Springs, and we began to see 6 objects right there in the sky. And we believe these are UAPs and UFOs.
Look at those objects. Look at these objects. It looks very similar to the Boogosphere. And basically, all the UAP videos that the government has released is extremely similar to the Boogosphere.
So when we saw this, we just thought to ourselves, my goodness, what in the world are we looking at? How do we grapple with this? It was a very interesting thing. Now, uniquely enough,
there's another one emerging out here.
We were just in a disclosure meeting 2 days before this, talking about UFOs, UAPs, all these things, and that there's going to come a great disclosure, even an announcement that we're not alone in the universe, we're not alone, and there's non-human intelligence that is absolutely happening.
Imagine flying in the airplane and watching this happen.
Or in the highest offices of the land, or they know about it, that kind of thing. And
imagine
so when
you
we heard
flying
this,
and you see
I
this
thought,
stuff.
my goodness, this is quite the disclosure meeting.
Crazy.
And they were prepping us to be leaders in the space from a biblical perspective, to bring people to the saving knowledge of Jesus and help the church avoid deception and not knowing what to do if they encounter these kind of things.
Exactly.
So what we did is we received that information, we began to talk about it. The next day, the president puts out a post that says he has authorized the specific agencies involved to find the truth of the matter of aliens, UFOs, UAPs, and all these issues and bring them out to the public. The day after that, we were traveling. This would be February 20th, 2026. We're flying. And as we were flying, we began to see these 6 UFOs appear out in front of us. Now,
that's crazy.
I've talked to a lot of people about this, and I'm about to show you the footage.
This is the footage right
But
here.
I've talked to a lot of people about it.
On the left side.
And some said, well, that's probably just drones over the nation. Others have said, and some of the ones I spoke with are actually some of the highest experts in the area of UFOs, UAPs, non-human intelligence, and the like. And when I spoke with them, they said, well, it could be drones, but it also really could be this other scenario that many people are talking about, and it could be part of this disclosure narrative.
That
that's
doesn't
coming
look
forward.
like drone to me. Like,
so I'll let
so
you
many
determine
at once.
that. I'll let you use your discernment. We don't have a solid answer on it, but we do know we saw something that kept appearing in the sky as we were flying into Colorado Springs.
That's crazy. Imagine you're taking off, you're flying in the sky, and you start seeing these things popping out of nowhere. You just can't stop but imagine about that flight situation that happened. Now, I don't know if you guys remember this footage right here where the Singapore Airlines MH370 went missing. And right before it went missing, there was like these weird orbs that was like rotating all around this airplane. Take a look at this from the right side. This is like a non-heated version. You'll actually see that there's like a ball, you know, almost like a Boogosphere. And then there's like multiple balls that shows up. And it just keeps spinning around the airplane, and then the plane goes missing. This is something that these guys have also seen in the sky, apparently. And many people have reported sightings
captured multiple videos
over
of
the
what
past
looks
couple
like
of
UFOs.
years. Look at this
one was
stuff.
seen in San Andreas, California, and at first they said they thought it was a plane or drones until it did this.
Oh, whoa, 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 what is that?
Another was seen in Texas by multiple people as well, where there were 5 strange lights in the sky and what also looked like drones. But the speed that this took off in is unreal.
Oh, what did I just freaking see, dude? What was that?
And there's also another footage of someone filming from their phone on an airplane, and they come across a very similar thing as well. Some sort of a UAP flies right next to their plane. Look at that. Imagine you get to see that stuff and you have no idea what that is. That will be scary, man. Look at that. Let me just pause it right here. That almost looks like a spear, but then it also has like a triangular shape. It's really hard to like get to know what shape that is. It just flew right past, and it seems like it's completely metallic in color as well. So it definitely seems like we have officially entered the age of disclosure. Some might like to call this as the age of deception, which the Bible warns us about these things. Just take a look at this. My X page is basically filled with all the things that the government has released so far. Look at this. These are complete footage of everything that the government has dropped on their official website. You can go ahead to their website and take a look at all the UAPs and all that, videos that you can play around and see what these weird things are and what kind of technology these things possess. But it definitely seems like they have some sort of technology, but then we don't know how it works or whatever. Look at this right here. There's also a cylindrical shaped thing that they apparently found on 2022. Look at this.
Traveling off the coast of Alaska has been shot down and retrieved and is being investigated by the NSA. The object was traveling northeast towards Canada at 40,000 feet and was the size of a small car. Previous flybys resulted in limited information. It seems the object isn't related to the Chinese spy balloon and doesn't seem to be using any obvious types of propulsion. The object isn't constructed in any way our engineers are actually familiar with. This isn't the first time a cylindrical UFO has been spotted. In 2007, one was seen following the shovel Atlantis, which prompted Project Blue Book to open back up its investigations. We're still deep into a global pandemic. Just when you think it's over, you get hit with the real wave. We could essentially be on the brink of extinction. Was the time for aliens to be observing us. Now would be the time. Heck, they could even have a hand in our fate. What do you think?
I don't know, man. It definitely seems like it. Definitely seems like it. Honestly, it's a very interesting time that we're living in, and it seems like there's only going to be more disclosure because now it's very transparent that the government has officially come out and they've given out this information stating that they are now releasing the entire alien files. Department of War releases unidentified anomalies. So this is basically the official Twitter account or X account of Department of War. They've given out full-on information. This only happened like a couple hours ago. And yeah, it seems like things are going to start showing up more, and our pastors are going to very soon inform us about what's coming up. And I think the world should very soon be ready for something this huge that's coming up. To be honest, I don't know. I'm kind of excited to see how things are going to be playing out. It's a very interesting time to live in, and I think the Antichrist is officially going to be entering the scene the upcoming 7 years or something like that. Because right after the alien invasion, he's going to be the one that's probably going to save us and basically falsify and claim that he is God and all that stuff. You already know they've already created this whole narrative, and it seems like they're going to play along with this whole stuff. I want every single one of you guys watching this episode to go ahead and share this video with your loved ones, family, friends, so that people can get to know what's coming up, so that we can be ready with our Bibles. We need to start reading Bibles, and we need to start reading the book of Enoch. Those things have so much information so that we can get ready for all the deception that's coming up. So that's one of the biggest reasons that you need to go ahead, share this video with as many people as possible so that they know that things are officially serious now. There is no more conspiracy theories. These are real facts. It's finally here. The end is happening, and I want you guys to do your part in sharing this video with as many people as possible so that this can reach more people. Please go ahead, drop a like on this video, leave any sort of comment related to what we have spoken about, in this video. So this way, YouTube algorithm, it pushes out the video to as many people as possible, thinking that it has more likes, more comments, which means that we need to show it to more people. So win-win here, because most probably YouTube could try to suppress my video and not show it to many people, because, you know, we're talking about God, Bible, and all that stuff, and that's something that YouTube doesn't really like for people to speak about God. So the only way we can let many people know is if you guys play the algorithm. So go ahead and do it, and subscribe if you guys want to stay tuned for more updates, because we have just begun. We have just started getting new information. So every single day, there's going to be massive updates. I will keep you guys updated right here on this channel. So this is going to be the best place for you guys to get all the information, full-on explanation in the most easiest way and most understandable way as possible. Because no matter where you guys go ahead and try to watch these videos, they're not going to give you guys like a full explanation, like a Christian explanation of what's really going on. So that's the biggest part that I'm playing with my channel, where I'm going to try my best in order to give guys the most simplest explanation so that even non-believers can start getting into reading Bible finally. So that's my mission. I hope you guys join me in this one. Don't forget to turn the notifications on if you guys have subscribed, because if you don't do that, if you don't set it to all, YouTube doesn't send you guys a notification. Until then, take it easy, fams, and I will see you guys on the next one.